Are you single, dating, or in a relationship? Dating Babes in 2017 will take you on a rollercoaster ride about real-life dating and why being single is the new trend. Introducing your hosts of the show, Miss Cosmopolitan Chick and Mr. Canadian Club.
Welcome to the first episode of Dating Babes in 2017, the podcast hosted by me, the Cosmopolitan Chick. Firstly, thank you for taking the time to listen to our debut episode wherever you may be listening, in your bedroom, the toilet, in the shower, or on your way to work. Before we delve deep into the stories that I'd like to share with you, please allow me to introduce myself to you. I am a woman in her 30s living in the heart of Melbourne, Australia, and my current relationship status is single. Yes, I know. Are you shocked? Don't be. As you listen to my journey as a single woman, you'll understand why being single is the new trend. So here's a quick rundown about me. I have no children because I chose an international career over procreation. And just so we're clear, I wouldn't change my decision for the world. It was exactly the path that I was meant to walk on. However, as you get older, your life changes and your perception of where you see yourself in 10 years is suddenly slapping you in the face because it's that 10-year mark. And you start to analyse your future and come to terms with the fact that it's time to start dating again. Regardless of where you call home in the world, dating is a universal activity that can be conducted via one click on your phone. And if you've experienced this, you know how dangerous it can be. But for now, let's pause on that thought as I'd like to introduce a special guest to the show, our very special co-host, Mr. Canadian Club. Hello.
Thank you so much, Cosmopolitan Chick.
I love how we have code names. You and I have to keep our identity a little bit anonymous.
I agree. It's pretty fun. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely not like swiping on Tinder where you've got a photo, your name, your age, your details, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely dangerous.
Exactly. It kind of keeps the mystery still.
Ooh, I like mystery.
I like it too.
All right, tell us a bit about yourself. Obviously, you are not Australian. Listen to that sexy accent.
I'm not Australian. As my name says, I am Canadian. I have a Latin background, so, Latin lovers.
Woo!
Quite smooth.
We're definitely going to get to that later.
I'm in my 20s and do my master's here in Melbourne, so loving it so far.
Most importantly, of course, because this podcast is about dating babes in 2017.
Absolutely.
What's your current relationship status?
I dabble here, dabble there, mingling here, mingling there,
We're definitely going to talk about that more later as we unveil some of our secret dating experiences. But I want to talk about the male perspective when it comes to dating. You know, what is the general attitude towards dating in your circle of friends?
I think it depends on the age, especially. I've got like friends from like different age groups, so it depends. A few of them are looking to more settle down. Others are just looking for like a one-time moment thing, and other people are just just going with the flow, really.
I think it's kind of universal at the moment. Everybody doesn't know whether to commit, whether to have one-night stands, whether to get on Tinder and just date more than one person.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think the biggest challenge is when it comes to dating in 2017?
To be honest, I actually think it's we have too many choices. I mean, when it comes to dating in general, we've got Tinder, for example. We have mobile apps. We can go to a club. We can go meet friends. So just the options are everywhere, I think, and we just kind of get overwhelmed, maybe.
Okay, so when you think about the dating apps, we've got Tinder.
Yeah.
We've got Grindr.
Yeah.
We've got Plenty of Fish.
That's right.
You can even pick up on Instagram. I have been picked up on Instagram.
It's like a new thing now.
It is. LinkedIn. I got a message sent on LinkedIn the other day that said, hey, looking for slim, sexy girls. I was like, what?
Oh, God. Same with Facebook as well. People are like, oh, she knows this person. She knows this person. Might as well just send her a message. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. And then, they're all the free apps that you can date on. But then you got to think about the ones that you pay for, like Match.com, eHarmony, Zook.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so many choices.
Exactly.
Sometimes choices are a good thing.
True. But I do think that we get overwhelmed. And with too many choices, you're like, oh, I want this, but I also want this. And then you kind of get distracted and sidetracked. So.
We all want to have our cake and eat it too, but just not on our hips.
Exactly.
So the general conversation with your friends when it comes to dating, what is the main focus towards when you talk about dating with all your mates?
That's a good question. I just think it's like, what are you looking for, really? It's just that it comes down to what are you looking for? What are you looking for? What makes you feel good? What doesn't make you feel good? Are you looking for looks? Are you looking for connection? Just that, really.
Do guys find it as hard when it comes to dating as females?
I think guys become quite intimidated. A lot easier than what females would feel. I feel like they do with apps, actually, I think they have a bit of confidence because, you know, you're just chatting online first before you meet the person. But I do think, yeah, like they just get intimidated, really.
You know, I think it's really hard when it comes to relationships, regardless of your gender, because if it's an old school male-female, the guy doesn't know whether to open the door for a woman, whether he needs to let her be Miss Independent. You know, I don't know when, you know, two guys are dating, what happens there. Two girls are dating. You know, it can be quite confusing, and I think we're lost.
Yeah.
We're definitely lost.
It's like a mixture between the traditional and, well, the new age now. For example, if you were saying, we're talking about the men and the girl, it's like, well, the girl doesn't want to be treated like lesser than the man because she's a woman. You know what I mean? It's more like, treat me as you type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so hard. I mean, I don't know. It's just, it is very confusing, and hence why we're talking about Dating Babes in 2017.
New age.
What do you think of the current dating environment in Melbourne at the moment?
It looks fun. I mean, I'm enjoying myself. So, yeah, it looks good. Good choices, multicultural. It's not very... I find people here in general, though, Melbournians, are just quite friendly. Just great. So dating here, it looks good.
Look, I've lived in Los Angeles, so I know what it's like being the token Australian girl.
I see.
And technically you're the token Canadian guy, which is a bonus, might I add, when it comes to dating, because they're like, your accent is so adorable.
You think? I don't know. Sometimes I feel a little odd about it. I'm like, I just feel like I stand out so much, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say so much.
Sometimes that's a good thing to stand out, you know. Sometimes it is. You know, you're an attraction already. I mean, just so you know, if you're listening and you're thinking, I wonder what the Canadian club looks like. He's gorgeous. You have nothing to worry about. He's tall, dark, and handsome.
Oh God, you got Cosmo hair, blonde, beautiful, blue eyes.
Oh my God, you're adorable. Stop it. All right, let's get serious for a minute. I want to know the best piece of dating advice that you have ever received and who gave it to you.
That's a good question. I think it'd have to be my cousin, actually, just here in Australia a couple of years back. If you're dating, you shouldn't settle less for what you're worth, I think it is. Know what you want, know what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with, and don't settle less for that. Because if you do, then you kind of just damage yourself in the long run.
That's some pretty amazing advice. And it kind of relates to me a little bit with the last date that I went on. Do you want to hear about it?
Absolutely. I'm curious.
So I will confess, I have been online dating on Tinder. One, because it's kind of the way everybody sort of is meeting at the moment.
Quite convenient, yeah.
Easy. It's quick.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm pretty good at writing, so I think I'm funny when it comes to texting. So I can grab the attention. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to back yourself. It's important to back yourself. So this guy we matched, he's Aussie, grew up in Melbourne, gorgeous, 6 foot, whatever, professional Australian water skier.
Well then.
Now, all the guys that I'm going to talk about in this podcast dating, I have nicknamed, of course, due to privacy.
Fair enough.
1, I don't want to be sued. Yeah. 2, I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Fair enough, yeah.
And 3, I need to protect myself.
I agree. You're so, what's the word I'm looking for? Considerate.
Oh, thank you, Canadian Club. That's amazing. Okay, so this guy and I, we matched. We agreed to meet. I said, what about a Saturday afternoon? We'll meet at the Arbory, have a quiet drink. We'll go from there.
Very nice.
I had already had a prior engagement that night, so I knew that I had an out, which is very important when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
Who's your out when it comes to dating?
Oh, God.
Do you text a friend and do you say, okay, I'm going on this date, check on me?
I think I usually come up with a plan B just in case. If it's not going well, I'm like, listen, I've got something else to go. Like, I'm not going to lie, I just lie.
Awesome.
I lie. I come up with a fake plan and I'm like, I got to bounce, guys, sorry.
Awesome. Hence why we have fake names on this show. Yeah. Okay, so this guy and I met. He turned up. He was 6 foot whatever. He was gorgeous. I thought, I could definitely make out with him. First thing, it's important. You want to make out with a guy that you think you're going to spend your future with. So we sit down. He buys me a drink, which is really sweet. I was like, okay, I'm going to buy the next one.
Yeah.
We start chatting. I can see he's a little nervous. And I'm thinking, okay, let's just go with this. I'm just going to listen to him. So he's sitting there. He starts talking about himself. He asked me like 2 questions about myself. And I thought, okay, cool. He's still a little nervous. So we get another drink. Things progress. I'm thinking, okay, he's kind of nice. Towards the end of the date, I'm thinking he's asked me 2 questions about me within an hour. Little bit of a red flag?
A little bit. He's talking a lot about himself. Well, he could also just be nervous, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I thought. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. because he's a sweet guy, you know, he's
Yeah.
in my age demographic.
Were you asking a lot of questions?
Yes, I was.
That could also, yeah.
Yeah, see, I kind of go into a little bit of nervous mode when it comes to dating. Anyway, so we wrap it up. I'm thinking I'd like to see him again.
Yeah.
He agrees. I'll give you my phone number because there's a rule I have, right, with
Yeah.
Tinder. Until I meet you in person, and then I have like this gut
Yeah.
feeling. Do you do the same?
Yeah. It's like a connection because then you actually know in person. It's one thing when you're on the phone. It's another when you're actually in person.
Exactly. So anyway, date ends. He kisses me on the cheek. I say goodbye. I walk away. I'm thinking,
Cute.
yeah, I would have liked to make out with him. I definitely want to see him again. So I sent him a text message and we agree to meet for dinner. Awesome.
Yeah.
He was pretty cool. I said to him, because he lived like 40 minutes out of the city. And I said, okay, where do you want to go? He said, you pick whatever choice. I said, all right. I sent him 4 suburbs
Yeah.
that were close to him. And I said, what do you like to eat? So we're like, Richmond, pizza. Perfect.
Done.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock.
Done.
Locked in. I'm a bit nervous. I'm thinking, I really like this guy. Maybe we're going to make out, whatever. I get to the restaurant. He's late.
Oh, God.
How do you feel about people turning up late to a date?
I'm actually not. I'm not too fussed about that. I mean, I run late a lot, so I completely understand. It depends how late though, and if he doesn't say anything, you're just like hello, kind of just sitting here awkwardly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm happy to go out and eat in restaurants by myself,
Yeah.
which I'm cool with that. I'm confident. But if you're on a second date with a woman and you're thinking that you'd like to take this further, probably turn up on time.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm in the restaurant. He's 20 minutes late.
Oh, God.
It's already awkward enough because I'm on a Tinder date for the second time. The waitress is like, oh, is your friend coming? I was like, yeah, he's just running late. He's parking.
Yeah.
So anyway, he comes in. He looks hot. I'm thinking, okay, I'll forgive you. You look hot. Good, right? Kisses me on the cheek. I'm thinking, oh, you know, he's got like this nice jumper on and like, you know, jeans and boots, and he just comes in and he's obviously flustered because he's late, right? So I was like, I'm not going to make him feel awkward. So anyway, we sit down, we order a drink. It's all good. Then I ask him how he is and how his day is. I wait for him to ask me. He doesn't ask me anything.
Oh.
So we're sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, he's nervous again. He must be nervous. Do I make you nervous?
God. Well, I know you, so I feel fine. But Cosmo, man.
I know. So I'm thinking, okay, this guy is 37 and he still has not asked me how my day was. He didn't compliment on what I was wearing, you know, and I was throwing in questions about, you know, my
right, and
work,
center. Yeah.
what happened for the day, like nothing there. We're an hour into the date. He still hasn't asked me. What would you do? Would you get up and leave? Would you wrap it up? Or would you say something?
No, I would just leave it as is. And by the end of that date, I'm like, nah, it's not going to work out. He's obviously not into me. He's talking too much about himself. He doesn't care about other people's like opinions or what they do. But like, I can't blame. I'm sorry, but I can't say that he's nervous on a second date.
That's what I thought.
Like you're like, I'm assuming you felt a lot more comfortable the second time you saw him than the first.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous at the start, which is
Fair
normal.
enough, yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is cool. So an hour into the date, second glass of wine in, I'm thinking, he hasn't even asked me one question about what I do for work. This guy doesn't even know what I do. Yet he's on
What was he talking about this whole time?
himself, his business, his
For an hour.
For an hour, his sporting activities. So I get up to go to the bathroom. I go into the bathroom. I look in the mirror and I look at myself and I say to myself in the mirror, this has to be a joke.
Oh, God.
I'm thinking, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? Oh my God, what am I going to do? And I thought, no, let's give him another chance. So I go back out. We sit
You're
down.
so forgiving.
I know, I'm so forgiving. We sit down. We order another glass of wine.
Yeah.
I say to him, so have you ever been engaged, married or divorced? And he says, no. I pause. I'm thinking.
Just waiting.
Waiting. If someone had asked you that question, what would you say back?
No.
Right.
How about you?
How about you? The key words. How about you?
Exactly.
Nothing. Sits there in silence and says nothing.
That is nothing but awkwardness.
I thought, oh no, this is not good. At that point, I'm like, more wine. So we wrap it up.
Getting trashed.
I'm thinking, this guy's so gorgeous. He's so lovely. Everything on paper looks perfect. Owned business, successful, Australian professional water skier.
Yeah.
Everything's really cool. The only problem is that he's not interested in anyone else but himself.
I feel like maybe that's a problem as well, because maybe he knows he looks good. And maybe people fly to him and like fluster to him and just give him what he wants, and then he just doesn't
I think so. But here's one of the deal breakers.
Oh,
So we finally wrap it up.
Yeah.
2.5 hours later, he spoke about himself the entire time.
Very
which
nice.
It's okay. I understand. You get nervous. That happens. That's life.
But
That's
I feel
dating.
like that's stuff you would talk about on the first date. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, was he just repeating himself?
No, he was talking. He had a lot to talk about.
God.
I know. I mean, my coffee girl knows more about me than this guy that I've been on 2 dates with. My coffee girl and I say less than 20 words a day, and she still knows more about me. So anyway, I'm thinking, look, he's very sweet, whatever. The bill comes.
Yeah.
Placed on the table. Now, I always pay for myself. I never expect a guy to pay for me, but if it happens, it's so nice. It's
There's
such
a
a
whole
blessing.
equality thing going, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, of course. But even then,
Yeah.
if I go out with my friends, some of my friends pay or I pay for my friends. So it's not, it's not an expectation. The bill comes down. I watch him look at me and he looks at me and he pauses and hesitates. And I'm thinking, he's thinking that I want him to pay for me.
Oh, God.
So I just pull out my card and go, let's go halves. And he goes, okay. So we finally wrap up the bill. I'm thinking, this is the most painful date ever. I have to get out of here right now. So we wrap up. I was like, thanks for dinner, whatever. So nice, because I'm thinking I don't want to upset him. I don't really know him. I don't know what way it's going to go. Obviously, you have to be street smart when you're dating on Tinder. Very important. Always meet in a public place and always be careful of what you do. So anyway, as we walk out, I gave him a kiss on the cheek. He said, would you like me to drive you home? Canadian Club, if that was you, what would you have said?
I would have been like, hell yeah, please get me out of here, take me home. And then, I would just be like, free ride, yeah. And then you can just drive off.
No.
Oh, God.
I'm thinking, I do not want to sit in the car for another 10 minutes to
and
hear
listen
him
to him.
talk about himself for another 10 minutes. I think I'm
That's
done.
a fair point.
So I said, oh, no, you're going in the opposite direction. Thank you so much for dinner. It was so nice to see you.
God.
I couldn't get out of there fast enough. Uber me out of here.
Oh,
Uber me
God.
home.
You're so considerate. You're so kind. I would have been like, drive me home, and then you can drive back.
But here's the deal. I text him to say thank you for coming to dinner or whatever. Never hear from him again. Do you think it's because he probably realised that I wasn't going to give him the dessert he wanted?
Probably. You didn't give in. That's what he's used to. He's like, well, I'm not getting what I want, so I'm out of here.
So that was the Australian professional water skier.
Oh, man. But what did he want? Like, when you met on Tinder, what was it? Like, what was it that he wanted?
He didn't really express what he actually wanted. But I mean, a man in their 30s, when you're dating on Tinder, you are kind of looking for the next thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. Let us know on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram what you think about that. If you're in your late 30s, are you looking for future or are you looking for fun?
Well,
maybe it was me.
If he was just talking about himself, how would he know?
That's a very good point. That is
How
a
would
very
he
good
know?
point.
You know what I mean? Like,
Look,
oh God.
when it comes to dating, it's a bit of a skill. It's a bit of an art. It's a conversation between two people. There's so many emotions going everywhere. I don't think anything is all wrong or right, but it definitely makes, for great conversation between your friends. I do appreciate his time, though. I mean, he did drive 40 minutes to go on 2 dates with me.
Fair enough. Even though he only spoke about himself. I mean, that's why I was like, just take me home, drive, make that extra.
Make the effort.
Exactly. Or take that extra 15 minutes to drive me home, and then you can drive off.
And then you can drive off.
And I'll never see you again.
Dating Babes in 2017. Stay tuned for the next episode, the next date of this extremely crazy adventure. And please join in on our social pages, Facebook, The Cosmopolitan Chick, Instagram and Twitter. We'd love to hear about what you think, your advice for me, what you would have done in that situation, what you would have said. Maybe you've had the same kind of experience. We'd definitely love to hear about you. Canadian Club, thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Cosmo Chick.
Stay tuned for the next episode of Dating Babes in 2017. And until then, good luck in the dating world.